Hello guys and welcome to my channel. So happy new year to all of you, and hopefully you reach to this year 2021 as you are watching this video. So 2021 will be great for you. So let's start this video. So till now what we did is, let's see what we did today. We go there and just navigate to our screen. I will just and I will just start my project. So yarn start. So till now what we did is actually just add some random tasks. So I will say task 1 added, task 2 added, and I can mark as complete, and I can mark as incomplete. I can delete this task. Okay, so I can delete this task too. Right, that's it. That's it. Okay, so if I add something like this task 1, and if I just reload this again, then it's gone, right? So this is because we haven't stored this data anywhere, so we have to store that data. Okay, so we have to store that data. To store that data we will use Firebase. So what is Firebase? If I go to Firebase, okay, Firebase is basically, we can say, a cloud storage where we can store our data. So just go to your console, okay, and I will create one new project, and the project name will be like to-do app, or we can say like React project. Okay, so project name will be React project. Okay, I want this computer testing. Select account, then create. Let's see. So what is Firebase? So Firebase is like, we can say, a hybrid database. It is not a relational database. It is NoSQL, and you can say like NoSQL data, where we store data in terms of JSON format. In NoSQL database, we store data in terms of JSON format. So what is the difference between relational database and NoSQL database, or SQL and NoSQL? So if we just go here and search what is the difference between SQL and NoSQL differences. Okay, so if we just go to any website and see, so we can say SQL database is a relational and it is not relational. Okay, SQL database, structured query language and predefined schema. So we can say that in SQL we have structured schema, means structured folder structure, not structured table structure, where we predefine our table structure. Like if you want ID, name, and whatever, suppose ID, name, description, and all these things, we define it. We can't add more than that column. Means suppose I want to add my photo to it, so I can't add directly from the query, or we can say like directly from the insertion operation. Of course we can alter table, but we can't do insertion directly. Like if I want suppose my photo, then I can't insert in table where we don't have photo column. So we have to alter that table. But in NoSQL database, suppose there is no you can say like photo column or photo attribute or key, but we can add through insert operation. Means, okay, I think if we just go and see practically, then it will be easy to understand. Suppose, okay, let me create. Okay, yes, I think I just have to create new project. Okay, so a registration app. So I will say to do app, to do app. Yes, I need Firebase hosting. So for now, it is fine for me. Register app. Firebase SDK. Yeah. So yes, installation Firebase tools. I'll just copy this, or you can select Firebase tools, and I will just go ahead and boom, Firebase tool. Yar add, we require two. One is Firebase and another one is Firebase tools. Okay, till that we will just do this things. Okay, deploy. So how we deploy this? So for now, what we can do is just copy this somewhere. Okay, it is simple. We have to log in, then init, and then deploy. That's it. Okay. So if we go to our cloud Firestore, this is where we store our data. This is basically database. So we have to create database. We have, as we are using this for testing, so we just use a test mode. If you want, you can set this to production mode. So yes, in server we have patients. Mhm. Okay. Yes, it is installing. Okay. So this is like, we can say like MongoDB. If you have worked with MongoDB, where we have collections and documents. Suppose I have created one collection, which is what we have collection. Let's see. We can say collection name as to dos. Okay, to dos. And next. So I want to generate ID automatically, and the field which I require is name and is completed. So name is string, and I will say name as task. Okay, you can select create YouTube video. Okay, and add field. Here I want is completed, so I will just copy this is completed. Okay. And this is boolean, as we are uh, saying true or false. So this is false, and that's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, if I want to add, here we have ID, name, and it's completed. If I want to add something like sub to do, or we can say like author or by user, which user, so I can add, suppose I can add another thing. Suppose if I say auto, basically I can do anything. I can say ID here and just say ID is equal to 45, and that's it. That's it. Here this is like a table. Here we have data of ID, name, and completed, but in the same table we have data of only ID, or we can say suppose uh, if I want to add another field which is not there as like a user, I can add a user too. Okay, so yes, like this. So we don't require this, so I will just delete this. Yes, I do. Okay, let's see how to delete this. Delete document. Okay, so yes, currently we have only one, which is create YouTube video. So how to integrate this Firebase in our app? So let's check if they are installed or not. They are installing. So wait for that. Okay, go ahead. Until that, just create here like one file we require, which is in here. So I require firebase.js, or we can say like firebase config.js. Okay, let's check if it is installing. Just taking too much time. So in Firebase config, what we require, here we set up connection with Firebase. So let's check the installing. It is taking too much time. I don't know why. So let's hope so it will install, and let's do our thing. So here we have to set up our Firebase connection. So I need Firebase, as I will connect this to Firebase. So obviously I will need Firebase from Firebase library, which is we are currently installing. We go here and see, yes, Firebase and Firebase tools. So we need Firebase for now, and we have to create one variable which is Firebase app. So here I have to initialize that variable with some data with the configuration. So I will say Firebase dot, okay, initialize app. This is basically a method of this Firebase. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, sorry. Initialize app, and here we want configuration. So this config. So config. So how to write this config? So configuration is basically, if we go to our this Firebase and we go to, wait a minute, settings, project settings, and here this is config. Here we have this configuration. So I will just copy this, or maybe I will just copy this Firebase config, go ahead and paste that here. Okay. And I will use this variable to initialize the config. Firebase config. Yes, that's it. This is initialization. So after that, what we have to do, as we are using Firestore, so I need database. So I will use const db is equal to Firestore, or we can say like Firebase dot Firestore. Firestore. This is basically function. We just go ahead then yeah, it is not in the description, but as name says, it will just initialize that database. Wait a minute. So Firebase app dot first. Okay. So we have initialized our Firebase app, and in this app we require Firestore database. That's it. In a simple word, you can say like that. And now I want to use this database. So if I want to use any variable from here or any constants from here, I have to export, I will say db. If I want to use this Firebase config, like let's change the name to config to only Firebase, because it's Firebase, right? Suppose I want to use this file in other module or in other app, like import a db from Firebase. Okay, if I want to use like this Firebase is basically the Firebase file, and this Firebase is Firebase module. So that's why I just use Firebase config to just differentiate between the name, but it's fine. If we want to use like this, then we have to set here export default db. Okay, so for now we can just set here export default, because we don't have any other variable that we want to export, so we have only one, so we can use like this export default db. Good. So let's go to our app.js. In app.js we have Firebase here. Okay, in app.js I need that Firebase, or suppose rather than doing operation here, I will use one folder. So let's create one folder. I will say Firebase. Okay, Firebase, and in this Firebase I will say APIs. Basically these are API calls, so I will say we can't say like API, we can say like Firebase operation. Okay, .js. In this, if we go to app, I will just create there, and for now we are doing nothing there. So here we have to import db from Firebase. So if we go to here, we'll get Firebase, so we can use that db. So let's check if we get that db or not. So for that I will just console.log that db. Okay, and let's check. Let's run our app first. Sorry, yarn start. Okay, so what went wrong? You attempt to import Firebase which falls outside of SRC project. Relative import outside of SRC not supported. Okay, fine. Fine. If you are saying this, then I will cut and I will import this in SRC. That's it. And If I go to app.js, and yes, 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 let's see. Let's see if it is working or not. Okay, it's taking too much time. It worked. Let's see our DB. We go to inspect mode. Let's see config. So yes, at line 9 there is e object. Okay, means there is something. Yes. So yes, there is something. So we get DB object, and here what we have to do is, if you want to insert, rather than inserting, let's first get that data. Means if we have that data in our cloud storage, here we have one record, right? Now we want to fetch that record, means get that record. So for that, what we have to do is, if we go to use state, okay, so yeah, okay, that's it. So here we have to use one hook, which is use state. use use effect. So what is use effect? Okay, yes, use effect is from React, same as use state. So just a minute. Okay, so what is use effect? Use effect is basically run set of, we can say basically run function. This is one function depending on the condition. Here we write condition, and this is one function. In function we write bunch of statements, like if I want to do anything like insertion, deletion, or fetching data, we will do everything here, and this function will run depending on the condition. If so, conditions are basically variables. So if I keep this, you can say like square brackets as it is, then this will run only once when, we can say, this page load, right? This will run only once. If I write here to do, then this function or this bunch of statements will run whenever to-dos change. Means if I added to-dos, then this will run when I add to-do. This will run when I will delete to-do. When I will make operation on to-dos, means operations means when I change to-dos, then this use effect function will run. Okay, and if I just remove this all, then this will run every single time. So let's see. Suppose if I say console.log, and I will say running. Let's see. If I go here, okay, running, and if I pass empty parent, we can click empty square brackets, then also it will run single time. If I add anything like add 1, yeah, now it won't run because this running is not depend on anything, right? Suppose if I just remove this again, and I will add one, here you can see running. If I say task 2 running. So whenever I make operations, meaning if I just click here and say A, this will run. If I say B, this will run. So this will run every time. And if I give condition like to do, then this will run only when I add it to do. So let's see. Okay, this is not running now. If I added task 1, and if I hit add, then you can see run. If I added task 5, and if I hit add, you can see run, right? So this is how it works. Simple. So now what we want is to run this depending on to-dos, right? So now we want to fetch data. So how to fetch data? So what we have to do is we come here. We have to write db dot collection. Our collection name is to-dos. Suppose if we go here and see, our collection name is to-dos. So we have to give name here to-dos. And in to-dos, I want all data. So how to get all data? All data is basically, we can say, on snapshot. So first of all, I will make this empty. On snapshot. So on snapshot means, so if we see this, so there are a bunch of statements, but in simple words we can say on snapshot is like clicking picture. Whenever this, if we go to our data, yes, whenever this collection changes, means if I added something, if I added another document here, if I added another document, if I delete another document, then this snapshot function will run. Means this will run for every operation that will perform on this to-dos collection. Okay, and it is basically run and give me that data. For the first time, this will give me this data. In the second time, if I added the documents, then that will give me this data with the added document also. If I remove that document, then that will give me data without that remove document, right? Something like that. So basically, in simple words, we can say it will just fetch data whenever operation perform on the database or on that collection, not on database, not on whole database, but specifically on the table. In table, in our Nosql, they are collections. So yes, so snapshot. So I need a snapshot, and snapshot will give me what? Snapshot will give me snapshot dot docs. So snapshot dot docs means documents. So let's console this, console.log. Let's see what it will give me. Okay, so if I go here, boom, and just open inspect tab in console, just rerun. Okay, this is giving me nothing. Okay, something went wrong. So docs is not a function. Are you sure? Um, okay, right. Docs is not a function because it gives me documents. So this is not a function. Basically, this will give me all documents. Sorry, sorry for that parenthesis. So snapshot will give me all documents of these to-dos. So if we go here and check, so E, okay. So this is something which I never expected. Okay, 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 maybe. I don't know why it is giving me like this, but this will give me array. So what I have to do here is I go here and in documents I need all documents and I need data of that document. I will just console dot log that document dot data, right? Okay, okay. So this will give me data. This snapshot dot docs will give me all the documents, and if I want to iterate through that documents, then obviously I have to use one function which is map. Docs.map document and document.data. This is basically array. I don't know in the last one why it's not array. So let's see. Okay, this is returning data. What is this empty? This dot data. Why you are not working? Okay, now let's check. Let's debug this code and see why this is not working. Okay, we have db.collection. db is basically just that db firestore firebase app.firestore, right? Firebase app.firestore. Yes, Firebase app is config I use Firebase initialize app. Yes, everything is right here. And if you go to our app.js, I use a use state. In that use state, we have db.collection to do. In that collection, I will use snapshot. In that snapshot, I have this function that will give me all the snapshots. Okay. I don't know why it is not working. Oh, okay. So doc.data is function, data is function. Sorry, I don't know what is happening here. Okay, so this is our first record, but we don't have ID here, right? We don't have ID, so we need ID too. So how to get that ID? So to get that ID, what we will do is we will just say just return me that document, sorry, document data. Okay, something went wrong. Parenthesis. Okay, that's it. So now I want data and id too. So id is equal to document dot id com. So yes, something like this, right? Right, something like this, but I have to just include this in parentheses to make sure that everything will be fine. And yes, id post, and this time I just want to make sure that this will give me everything's data in all that, means this will give me object like this dog data, give me object like it's completed true, and the another thing which is name or anything will be like task. Okay, so if I want to add this in this object, so I have to make sure that this doc.data is destructured, means I can add anything here. If I add directly, then this should be like this id is equal to 123 and this. Now as I use this three dots, so this will make sure that this bracket is pulled off and the data will look like this, simple as that. So I will just comment down here and let's see what it will give me. So I will use const, you can say like data, and now I just want to console dot log that data. Let's see, I don't know what it will give me. Okay, so we have id, name is completed, same structure as we want here, id is completed, name. Okay, so we get here data. Now I want to set that data. So how to set data? So we set data using set to dos. Set to dos, and boom, we go here. Yes, if I added something like task 2, add, boom, we have two. First one is this, it's completed, where id is automatically generated, and here we have, that's what we want, add 2. So now if I hit refresh, then we have this, right? And if I deleted this too, and again if I hit refresh, then we can see here, because we are deleting from only front end side but not back end, right? Means we are not performing any operation on this table or this database. So what I want is, first operation is add. So I want to add this data to this Firebase. So how to add? So add is basically simple. Here I have to do, I don't think that we need this, because if we have large project then we need this Firebase. Now we have small projects, so we just use this. So add, okay, add. Here I have to do it add dot, sorry, db dot collection to do dot add, and here I want to add to do. to do. That's it. That's it. Now let's see if it works or not. Here we have only one record, right? So if I just change this to task 2, right, add, I go here, press C, then we have task 2, where it's completely false. If I added task 3, yeah, yes, I can see this. Now if I hit refresh, yes. So now we don't want this. If I remove this, set to do's, and if I go here again, add task 4 or 54. Yes, without using set to do, because okay. So let me show you something interesting. Okay, let's give me this. Boom. Okay, I know this is being ugly, but let's just. So this is task number. Suppose I want to add auto. Then I need name is equal to. Suppose I will say no task today, and it's completed to false, or is completed to true. Okay, and after that I will just hit save. Then you can see I don't even hit refresh. Why? Because and it's completed to. Why this happen? Only because of that snapshot. Because every time I make operation, that will run. So that's it. So, and our second adding is completed. Then we have another operation which is delete. So how to delete to do? So same way. Here we use delete. Delete. Okay. Suppose if I want to delete something, then what I need is unique element, and unique element is ID, right? So I want ID. So we are getting that ID. So we don't need this filter. So why I'm commenting this, because when I will upload this code to GitHub, so you will get idea what I have changed. So we have ID. So let's check which method we can use. So get ID dot no, not get ID actually. Let's see if we have delete or not. Delete. Oh, sorry. Got it. So we have this document, and here I can pass ID. Right? I pass ID, and I want to delete that document, right? So I can use delete, and boom, that's it. Let's check if this is working out. Pass item is not working. So we don't need this. So just remove this. Boom. Okay, let's make this side by side again. So if I say no task, delete. Okay, what happened? To do is not defined. Okay. To do. Oh, wait a minute. So something went wrong. Something went wrong. Okay. What I'm doing? Wait a minute. What I was doing? Let me just check. If I say delete this, okay. So I think I just click here maybe. Okay, so delete this, delete this, delete this. And if I go to my Firebase, yeah, there's only one record which says task 54. Now I want to check this. So if I change completed here, then you can see it is still false. So I want to change this, right? So for that, let's go again. Same way, I need ID. So yes, this will give me ID. Basically, we don't need anything else. So let's see. And we need to set. We need to set. It's completed. It's completed to what? It's completed to what we have. Means what currently we have is, if it is true, then I want to make this false. So how to get that what we have currently? So I will say first I need to check what we have. So I will say get is completed. Let's see what it will give me. What is get, right? Option method, right? Let's see. I hope so. Console.log, and yes, we'll just use this here, and let's see what it will give. It's completed is not defined. Okay, maybe I have to pass something like this. No. So yes, let's check how we can get that ID. So Firebase get uh, data from ID. So how to get data from ID? So for that, what we have two simple operations. Just check to say yes, that we will do. Then this is gate. Okay, got it. Got it. I think gate function directly with no arguments, right? Yeah, works like. Okay, so get will give me this. Are you sure this is giving me this? Let's check if it is giving me or not. So if I go here and we will say const data, or we can say this time atom is equal to this, and I'll just console log this. And if I go back here and I click on not completed, and this will give me promise, just promise. So promise, it will give me promise means it is working. So promise is like when we make a request and that request is asynchronous you can say. So we have to make this function asynchronous as we are getting data and we are not manipulating that data here in that function, then we have to use async function. Here we get data, but we set that data inside of that function, right? Here, right? So that's what. So we have to go to okay. So this is delete and this is get. So we have to make this function asynchronous. Async, and this is the async function, and I have to use await. That's it. Oh, sorry, await. That's it. And let's check. If I say this was in first and full multiple, this will give me something, right? Something. This we see. I think we get this before, right? So yes, that's it. We get data. So as we get data, now I want that data in actually a data format. So let's see. We get data, but I want that data in actual data format. So yes, it is giving me. So if I add task 1 and add, if I click on task 1, then you can see task, and here we have is completed false. So I have to make this again, right? True to false. So yes. So which data we want? So const we need is completed. Completed. We need is completed. So data dot is complete, and what I have to do here is same like this. Boom. I want to set data to this is completed is equal to not it's completed. Means if it is true, it will become false. If it is false, it will become true. That's it, guys. I think this will work. Okay, not working. Wait a minute, something went wrong. Something went wrong. Let me just check. Refresh this. Okay. Okay. So everything is gone. Okay. So we need that data, and I want to manipulate that it's completed only. Okay. So everything is gone. You can see. You can manipulate this, but name is gone. Go to our data. I think this one. Here you can see manipulate is gone because I set this to this data, right? I need all data plus this is completed will change to not is complete. So as I'm saying, I need all data, so I will say data, and rather than saying this, okay, I will say first give me all data, then make this data dot income. That is simple. So I will say delete this. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's it. So we are not manipulating by this by front end. As you can see, I just comment everything. So that's it. We just did add, update, delete. That's what we want, right? Boom, boom. Task 1. Okay, completed. So, what if I want to deploy this app? What if, let's say this app's mobile version. So, let's see how it will look on mobile. I know that design is not too great. Yes, it is looking damn bad. Ugly. So just structure this and make this more, you can say, like accurate, at least good. So we will just change UI. Boom. Okay. Fine. Let's make this side by side. And if we go here, then we can say that margin, okay, margin y is okay, input and to do. So if we go to do, in to do we have to do, and in container we have rows, columns. Okay, so I will make sure that this column will be call sm. I will say 4, call sm4, same for call sm4. Okay, why you are not working? I don't know. Okay, so what I will do if it is not working, then just remove this mx what I have given before. I don't know, at that time it is not running, so I just kill that. Yes, same for this mx. Yes. We don't need that, right? Why we don't need that? Because these are buttons. Okay, these are purely buttons. So this button is in, if we consider this as a row, then I want this row to be we can say, suppose these are 12 grids, then I want this row to be, we can say like 8 or 6 3 3 3 3 like this, and it is still not working. I don't know what is happening with this. Let's see. Okay, so somehow it is not working. So let me just give 1 minute. Let me go to index.html. Index.html, I think we have given bootstrap 5, so I will just change that version to bootstrap 4. I don't know, maybe there are some bugs, or I will just change this to bootstrap 5 to bootstrap 4. And another thing that we require is font awesome. Cd. We go to font awesome website, font awesome cd. So I want this for HTML, so I will just say copy, and font awesome is also get copied. So we go here. Okay, now you can see the difference. Okay, still they are on top of each other, but yes, there is some difference, right? So if we go to do, and now we call md is equal to 6, call md is equal to 2, call md is equal to 2. Okay, 3 6 3 3. So what happened with this 6 3 3? Why you are not working with 6 3 3? Let me just kill them. Okay, first change this buttons. We don't need these buttons now. We will use font awesome. So here I will say I and say class name is equal to fa. We can say like, let's, I don't know what. So we'll say font awesome, font awesome, font awesome. And in font awesome I want dustbin. To delete me does mean. So yes. Okay, where are you? I want all icons. Just this icon. Now I want delete. So delete is like trash. So trash. You can select trash. Anyway, it is trash. It is a trash. Firebase trash. Okay. Yes, it is trash. And suppose if I say is completed, not completed, so I will give her check mark. Okay. Completed means check. So we will use this. If it is empty, then it is not. If it is, and depending on the color. Circle, check circle, check circle. What is this? What is this? Why you are giving me 2 Okay. Check. What's the difference? What is the name? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't need that much yet. We just need only check mark. So this is maybe a new version. FFA check circle, and we have FFA check circle on the same, right? FFA check circle. I last name is equal to actually so then this okay, okay. Something went wrong. Okay, and yes, we don't have FAS, we have FA only because this is I think four version. Okay, so as you can see here, that this is looking like this, and I will say button will be secondary, okay, and if it is checked, then make this green, right? So here I will add that condition. Was here, so it's completed. So let's make this secondary, and let's add this condition. So how to add this condition? So for that I will just have to make this to this, and here button will be here, and here because button is common, and here I have to check it's completed. Dollar is completed is true. Then if it's completed is true, then it will be button success, right? Yes. All for that. Sorry for that. If each completed is true, then button success. Or and we have button anyway, so we will add this button maybe button and here and then button. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, green means completed. So let's change the structure for that. Let's go ahead and you can select 8, 2 and 2. Okay, why you are not working? 8 plus 2, 10. Okay. Let's make this all 5. Okay. I don't know why this is not working. Let's make this 3. Okay. So I will say 8, 2 and 2. Yeah, that's it. That's what I need, right? 8 to 2. And each row, okay, so this will consider, okay, so this will consider as a container, maybe that's why. So I just need this as a row, right? And in my upper level container, which is to-dos, so I will give her a class name as a container. Okay, good. And if I go to my to-do, so in row I need padding, so I need padding y of 2 and margin y of 2, and I will say padding y, or I will say padding 2. Yes, this is looking good. I know this is not the best, but yeah, this is looking good. And the background color will be, sorry, so let's change the background color to something like blue. Okay. Because of that. Or if I just remove this, okay, just give one color blue. Okay, that's it. And export. Okay, this is one option. Or I will go with border. Border is equal to 1 pixel, solid, solid, and same color. Okay, I know this is not visible because of this color, so I will just remove this thing. Okay. No, I'm not fan of border, so no, I will go with same. But this time I will give border radius. Border radius. Okay. I will make some border radius is equal to 10. Okay. Oh, at least something is good. Yes, yes, something is looking good. If you want, you can change the font size, font color, and everything. Yes, that's it. That's it. And what if we want to deploy this? Okay, just simple app, but let's deploy. So how we can deploy this to server so that everyone can see this? So what we have to do, so I have to open this and come here, and so as we've seen in while setting up the Firebase account, there are commands like Firebase login. Why it is not working? Okay, it will work. It is taking too much time. Let's see. Okay, login. So we want to init. So Firebase init. Okay, this is Firebase. Are you ready to proceed? Yes. Sure. So what do you want? Deploy a real-time database rules. What we want? We want is hosting them. Because yes, we are all set up there. So yes, maybe. And hit enter. To use existing project. Yes, I will use existing project. So my existing project is I think React project. Yes, React project. Do you want to use a public directory? I will say build. BUILD. So why we are doing this build? Because this is our Firebase app. If we go to my VS Code, so this is our Firebase app. So here we have public. So by default it will take public, but in public we have just index file, and here we are not doing anything. And technically we are doing things, but if I just deployed using public, then that will just show me the empty page. So this app we build and then we deploy. So after build we will get one directory here as a build. So I want to deploy that directory, so I will say build here. And is this a single page? Yes, it is single page. Yes, that's it. Completed. Initialization completed. Thank you. So now I want like okay, so let's see. I can do like this yarn run build. Yes, it is running. So as I say, this build folder will generate it, right? And if I just go to my let's see. Okay, so yes, build is completed, and now we want to deploy this. So how to deploy? Is it difficult? So we have one simple command. So Firebase Deploy. That's it. That will deploy everything to Firebase hosting. Okay, project hosting URL. So let's see if we have anything or not. Hope so it will run. Okay, something is there. And if I say task 3, 4, boom. I know design is kind of not that great, but yeah, we can say like functionality is good. Yes, yes, cool. So you can visit this site, add your to-do task. So I will just make this empty. So you can add task here. Okay. So thank you for watching this video and have a great year. And don't forget to subscribe my channel, Mr. Mephisto. Like, share, and subscribe. So let's